can't believe Lars fucking died.
On screen! Visibly on screen with that unpleasant cracking noise.
Yes.
Holy shit! What the fuck, show? Jesus. I am aghast, agog, and a whole host of other old-timey frontier-sounding words. Flabbergasted. Rafunkled. Literally, every line of my notes that isn't holy shit ends with the words holy shit.
God. So, in this episode, Steven and Lars have gotten away from the diamonds, but a robonoid scanning laser thing still trying to find them. A strange gem named Rutile, I believe it was, helps them escape at the last second and leads them to their hideout. It's a kindergarten underground that's with a few gems that came out quote unquote wrong, and thus are unwanted on Homeworld and hid underground. But after meeting all these gems, the robonoids come back and try to find them. Lars is eventually sick of hiding all the time and decides to throw a rock at one of them. Which is interesting considering they're all rocks, but...
Now I just imagine him picking up that tiny off-color sapphire and throwing her.
Yes. He lets it scan him, only for them to realize it only scans for gems, which he doesn't have. So they use that to their advantage, and eventually Steven's shield, to protect the other gems and stop these machines. Lars uses a rock pillar to destroy one directly, but it explodes and throws him into the wall, seemingly killing him. Dead.
Like, there is a crack, and then Steven listens to his heartbeat and doesn't find one and sobs over his corpse. We see him die on screen.
But when Steven cries over his body, it causes him to heal, come back to life, and he's different.
He's pink.
He's pink.
Holy shit.
Fun fact, I did not fully realize that he was pink the first time until they said it in the next episode.
Oh my god. Oh god, so many things. So much happened. This was 11 minutes. How the shit was this 11 minutes?
I know, right?
Like, all of my notes, they say, like, Gem can join twins, holy shit. Tiny Princess Peach gem, holy shit. Giant gem, polyamorous gem fusion, holy shit. They can't see Lars, holy fucking shit. Lars is pink now, holy Jesus fucking Christ on a bike. This is exact word for word my notes.
It's kind of like, Sworn to the Sword, in that it's like they took everything you would want to see and then did it. And then some.
Yeah, the off-color gems are Rutile, Rhodonite, Fluorite, and the sapphire whose first part of her name I cannot pronounce, but am I the only... Actually...
I did figure it out eventually. It's Paparazza.
Paparazza. I'm gonna say Paparazza, and if it's wrong, sue me.
Papa Rocha.
Papa Roach.
No, don't even.
Actually, my notes say Princess Peach gem, but looking at her color scheme, she's obviously a tiny Princess Daisy.
Yes. Hi, I'm Daisy.
But yeah, when they first introduced the Rutiles, they've designed them looking as creepy as possible, but actually, I love them. I love Rhodonite, who is, look at her design, she's a pearl and a ruby fusion.
Yeah, I didn't realize that until someone pointed it out, but yeah.
But yeah, and she's and I think the thing that fascinates me most about Rhodonite, she spends the entire episode being terrified of everything, terrified of being found, terrified of being killed. But no matter how scared she is, it's not worth unfusing to her. She, so much time, especially when she's scared, she has those forearms, she has the two thick ruby arms and the two skinny pearl arms. She actually a lot reminds me of Garnet in The Answer, the first time she fused when she's a bit messier and there's more blatantly separate parts of the two gems. Which implies that she's still either fused relatively recently or she hasn't unfused since she fused. She's constantly hugging herself, holding her own hands. no matter how scared she is, she would rather die as Rhodonite than unfuse. Which, I have feelings. I have so many feelings.
God, should we go over all of them? Because,
yeah.
Because the next episode is also a lot about them, so...
But
I have no idea how to handle that.
I kind of want to go over all of them as they're introduced. Paparazzi Sapphire, she can only see things that just happened. But she clearly thinks she's having future visions. Which is adorable and sad all at the same time.
Actually, I have a solution. I'm not gonna comment much about them until the next episode. So that's how we'll do it. So you keep going.
Yeah. I'm also interested in whether or not her powers could extend, further into the past. Because I think it's come up a few times that apparently Garnet, when she's really focusing, can, control her future vision. She can control where and when she sees. And does that mean Paparazzi Sapphire could see a lot further into... She could control how far into the past she could see if she could get a handle on her powers? That would be fascinating to me. And Fluorite, who's 6 gems in a stable relationship, maybe more if we meet the right gem. And
yeah.
Okay, again, they would please say that it doesn't have to be a romantic bond for a fusion to be stable. It can be, all sorts of platonic bonds. But I'm fascinated if they've put a polyamorous gem into the show. A stable, happy, space grandma polyamorous gem. Look, she's everyone's favourite centipede grandma now, isn't she?
Yes. I was thinking more caterpillar.
Centipede, caterpillar, potato. Point is, she's lovely. And and the Rutalites, who aren't a fusion, they're just... I'm unclear if they're 1 or 2 Rutalites that just came out, air quoting heavily, wrong. They don't seem unhappy to be stuck together. They don't, they function physically very well together. They're on the same wavelength with a lot of things. They seem fairly happy to exist as they are, but Homeworld propaganda has them thinking they're wrong and broken, and literally from the day they were born, other gems fled screaming from them. Just, oh God, I want to adopt all of them and protect them forever. And I love that they exist, also. Again, this is going back to Homeworld as a fascist society. The undesirables exist in every fascist society. These gems are representing the people who, I say in every fascist society, exist in every society. They're representing, queer people, the physically disabled, the mentally disabled, all get representation in this, These are people who exist in everywhere that there are humans, throughout all of time and space, everywhere they're, just physically, mentally disabled people, queer people, and they use the phrase off-color. Unsubtly invokes racial tensions as well. These are people who exist in all societies. Fascist societies shit on them because they're easy to shit on. They're easy to tell people, look, these people are built wrong. Their existence is wrong. And you have to hate them and, destroy them for society to be good. And it's because creating witch hunts and scapegoats is an easy way for a fascist society to maintain order, get people focused on hating each other rather than organizing in any way and paying attention to the government. But basically, these are types of people who always exist. And of course they exist here on Homeworld. And they continue, and they started existing on Earth. They will exist everywhere that gems exist. And Homeworld's attempts to stamp them out is never going to be complete. They're never going to have a perfect society of perfect gems. Can you hear me air quoting so hard?
Yeah.
Because these people naturally exist. Existing, and they have a right to exist as You're born disabled. You have a right to exist. You're born queer. You have a right to exist. You're born not white. You have a right to exist. It shouldn't need to be said, but it does. I'm getting very angry about the fascist governments in charge of Britain and America just now. Like right now in Britain, Theresa May is slaughtering disability benefits, which is basically a roundabout way of killing off disabled people. It's verified fact. Disabled people die when they lose their benefits. Also, what's really sad to me is that when the Robinids attack, the off-colors, as they term themselves, don't try to fight them in any way. They just try to hide. And whenever, the first ones they nearly spot are the Rudolite. And none of the other off-colors try to do anything to fight to save the Rudolites. Rhodonite just covers Papyrusha Sapphire's eyes. Or eye, probably. We haven't seen under her hair. I think they don't have the concept of being able to fight against the Robinids, and they're horrified when they see another Jeb being in danger, but they also just kind of accept it. Applies to me, this off-colors group there's been a lot of gems in this group over the years that have been found and shattered. They are very used to their numbers being thinned out regularly by these Robinids. They just run from hiding place to hiding place, and their friends die, and that's just how their lives go. Again, when Rhodonite is nearly cornered, she just holds her own hands and waits for it. And it's Stephen and Lars that jump in to fight, because they still have the concept that this is wrong, this isn't natural, that this should happen to anybody. These people deserve to be protected. I love when they describe to Stephen, we came out wrong, and Stephen's just like, I don't see anything wrong with you guys. And he's not saying it in a, he's not being conciliatory, like he understands that, like, oh, I don't see anything wrong with you. He's the way he says it, he so purely doesn't see anything wrong with them. And there isn't anything wrong with them. They are different. They exist in a way that Homeworld says they shouldn't, but that doesn't make them wrong. None of them are hurting anybody by existing as they are. Nothing is wrong with the off-colors, but they're used to the idea that they will be hunted down and killed for, Papyrusha, Sapphire, and Rudolite were born in a way that they weren't supposed to, and from the moment they were born, they're used to the idea that they're supposed to die for it. Fluorite and Rhodonite have... Again, I hesitate to call it choices, because it seems pretty clear to Rhodonite that she couldn't choose... It's not conceivable to her to choose to not be Rhodonite. It's inconceivable to Fluorite to just separate and go about their 6 separate ways as if they couldn't be together. And, like I said, they're not hurting anybody by existing in that way. Show has no chill whatsoever, and I love it. I love it so much. I'm interested to see the kindergarten at the heart of Homeworld, because, it reminds me of, I think, most depictions of Krypton I've seen, where the reason Krypton collapses is that I don't know if this is how every version of Krypton gets destroyed, but, like, they mined the heart out of their homeworld, and that's why the planet collapsed in on itself. The massive kindergarten at the heart of Homeworld kind of reminds me of that. They have nearly collapsed their actual planet by mining it out into these massive kindergartens, and so that's why they've started taking other planets to use as kindergartens. Why they need to keep expanding their gem because it becomes a self-fulfilling thing. They need to expand the gem population to take more worlds so they can expand the gem population. Why do they need to expand their gem population beyond what their planet could sustain in the first place? Because, again, they're not organic beings who have limited lifespans and are driven to reproduce. Because, you leave better versions of your genes behind yourself. They don't reproduce, basically. Presumably the diamonds can create kindergartens and create new gems for them, but the average gem does not in the course of their life reproduce. So it's not like, on our world living populations naturally grow because reproducing is what organisms with limited lifespans do, plus babies are fucking cute, so, that's not how gems work. So who is continuing to expand their population and why? To the point where they're willing to destroy worlds with intelligent life to create more gems.
Metaphor.
The show is for kids!
I guess.
This is like a high-key fascist society that is trying to destroy the queer and disabled on a show for little kids.
Yep.
I love this show, but holy fuck, what demonic entity did Rebecca Sugar make her bargain with?
Must have been like Cthulhu Satan or something.
Something. Jesus, I don't know, but it worked. Haven't they been renewed for through season 7 at least?
Now for the comedy section. So I don't have a ton, honestly, because stuff kept happening in this episode, but the beginning was kind of fun. Where they just fell this height and because Steven's help was thanks, my bones are only a little broken.
And Steven's response is just, my bones too.
There's tons of food if you like rocks for dinner. Lars actually considers salt is a rock.
Yeah, he's salt is a rock, right? Maybe we can season some dirt and make a meal. And why do I feel like Grand Chef Lars could possibly actually do that?
Possibly.
I also demand to meet the salt gem now. The
Yes.
manifestation of pure salt. I want to meet her.
Oh, I thought the manifestation of pure salt was early episode Pearl.
True. A lot of the stuff with pretty much all of Paprasha Sapphire's lines were comedy. Just because of their timing and how excited she was to share her revelations with everybody. Everyone's just like,
Yes.
it just happened, Sapphire.
We're winning! We're winning! Good timing, paparazzi. I also loved Lars' just absurd idea of how to get away from the Robinoid. If we stand perfectly still, it won't see us.
Maybe that movie was about dinosaurs!
God damn it.
Although the thing is, if it wasn't standing next to Steven, it really wouldn't have seen him. As we find out.
Yeah. That's gotta be one of the all-time cliches. I feel like I've heard that line in a million things.
Yeah. And that's probably why they were taking the piss out of it.
That's the thing I really like about Steven Universe, is that they'll say certain cliched statements played straight, but you just leave just enough that they're just messing around with it.
Yeah.
It's just a wink to the audience almost.
I also just love the visuals of that big skinny pillar in the middle of the room where they're hiding that somehow Fluorite keeps hiding behind.
Yeah, that was cool. She just keeps going around how does that work?
Well, there's times where she apparently disappears entirely behind it, and I don't know how, because her big squishy caterpillar body is clearly wider than that pillar. But somehow. Yeah, I don't have a lot more funny to say, because then I have really extensive notes about the fight scene of Lars versus the Robinids.
Yeah,
Because,
which is cool.
holy shit, it was incredible. Who had that quote about sometimes all you need is 10 seconds of insane courage? Lars has his 10 seconds that becomes 2.5 minutes of holy fucking shit.
Yes.
I'm Googling that quote. I don't know if that's what you're doing, but I'm Googling it. Actually, it might have been... Oh, here we go. Benjamin Me. From that shitty movie We Bought a Zoo, really? It says, sometimes all you need is 20 seconds of insane courage. Just literally 20 seconds of embarrassing bravery. And I promise you, something great will come of it. Holy shit, did it ever. Thing is, he has his 20 seconds before he knows that the Robinids can't see him. And then when he finds out, he's just like, okay. And he busts all these Robonids. He uses himself as a literal human shield at one point to protect Rhodonite because it can't see through him to see her gems. That was fucking amazing. Him using that fallen stalactite, which, you know, it's not a bit of wood. It's stone. It must be heavy as shit. It must weigh more than that skinny ass Lars does. Using it as a baseball bat to whack those Robonids. That was fucking amazing. Yeah. Him then jumping onto the flying Robonid yelling, "Eat this," and especially as a cook, that's a great line for him, and slamming his bat into its eye was amazing. And then
it exploded.
And then it exploded, and there was a cracking noise, and the music stopped being awesome. And Lars was dead on screen. We saw him die.
So, yeah, two things about that. First of all, did you notice this is a total, parallel to, Sadie? Because she also got a scar, and it was also in the episode with her badass moment.
Yes! Soulmates, apparently.
Apparently! But also, someone made a really good point. That's really cool. That's why this show is just really well thought out. Is the fact that in certain past episodes, especially early on, when, a machine that the gems fought or something would explode or whatever, it'd make this, really pretty cool explosion. But this one is just, smoke when it exploded. Just this nothing realistic explosion.
There's nothing.
And then immediately just showcases Lars being dead. It's no victory, just dead person.
Yep. That would... And then also this episode makes you realize why they've spent so much time on Lars recently and who he is. He's had all this time being afraid, all this time hating himself for being afraid, and he just has that moment where him and Steven are hiding in a hole together, and Steven's crying a bit and he says it's okay to be afraid. Lars cries a little himself, and then he goes out there and fucking fights the Robonids, because he's scared. But he's gonna fucking do it, especially after he realizes that they can't see him. So he can save all these gems with his 20 seconds of reckless courage. And when Steven listens to his heartbeat and doesn't find it, and just starts hugging him, and there are Ghibli tears, and Steven is crying Ghibli tears too, as well as me. And I was openly sobbing when I first saw this. I was like, oh shit, that bitch made me care about Lars just to do this to me. Wait, what the fuck? Why is he glowing?
I will make you cry for Lars.
I mean, I'll admit, as a fanfic writer, I have done this, made people care just before a character dies. But Jesus Christ. And then, suddenly now I wonder if, his healing tears are just a separate thing from his healing spit. His healing tears have always worked, he's just never cried on anything dead before. Which now makes me wonder if Rose Quartz licked dead lion to make him into lion.
Yeah.
If it was the inverse with those powers, her healing tears healed wounds and she had, resurrection spit.
My god, I just thought the worst and funniest image. Maybe Rose just really hated that with this one lion, and she just spit on her dead corpse, and the lion came back to life. Well,
okay. But I mean,
didn't think that would happen. Whoa.
We finally know what the fuck the deal is with Lion. We don't know what the circumstances are, but Lion was dead and Rose brought him back, and that's why he's immortal with superpowers. And it's...
of course!
That makes sense! That whole sentence that I just said makes sense, somehow. Oh my god, I finally got one of my wishes. Well, two of them. We've seen Homeworld and Lion. I understand, sort of. Holy shit. Again, the last third of my notes were Lars using himself as a little human shield. Holy shit. Lars jumping on the roof and then, holy shit. Oh my god, is Lars dead? Holy shit. Oh my god, you bitch. You made me care about Lars just when he died. Holy shit. Oh my, Lars is pink. Holy shit. Lars is back from the dead. Holy shit. This is how Lion became Lion. Holy fucking shit. This is how I write notes. Just like watching the cartoon and frantically typing at high speed. This is what I learned to touch type for.
What an episode. Let's get to the last one.
Yeah, your turn to rant at length about the off-colors.